Hello and welcome to podcast 6, Hyperia versus Nemesis Reborn. We will start with a quick overview. Hyperia is a Mack-Ride steel hypercoaster, which in total has 2 inversions. The ride reaches top speeds between 80 and 81 miles per hour. It is currently the tallest and fastest roller coaster in the UK. It's based at Thorpe Park and has been in operation since the 24th of May 2024. Nemesis Reborn is a Bolliger and Mabillard steel inverted coaster. This coaster has a total of 4 inversions. Its top speed is 50 miles per hour. Originally, it was called Nemesis and it opened on the 19th of March 1994. However, in 2022, it closed for almost 18 months and then reopened on the 16th of March 2024, this time sporting the name Nemesis Reborn, still serving Alton Towers as one of its signature coasters. So today, the first topic that I will attend to will be theming. I previously did a discussion which embraced the golden and black themed buildings in the Hyperia courtyard. The track is mainly white with the lower part of the track being gold. Essentially, you spend most of your time high up in the air. Back to the theming. The ever-changing playlist plays out loudly but is rather pleasing to listen to. What I didn't go into detail about was the Hyporium and the waffle stand. Although these are themed to Hyperia, they are separate entities to the ride. I find it unfair to describe them as ride theming. Theming is something Hyperia lacks. No further detail needed. Nemesis Reborn theming, in my opinion, is in the top 2 in the UK for its theme. I think only the Smiler can challenge or even beat it when it comes to theming. Thinking back to when it was the original Nemesis, the coaster was based around a comic book alien called Nemesis. It also had an advert that it was the most intense ride in the world. Anyway, let's talk Nemesis Reborn, that is situated in the Forbidden Valley. By the way, Forbidden Valley is probably the best themed area in the UK. But more specifically, let's start with a giant eye of Nemesis, an active animatronic that also acts as a camera. This has to be the most stunning animatronic in any UK theme park. The eye sits in a giant set of charcoal grey circular teeth. The eye forms part of the giant body of the Nemesis alien. Again, this model of Nemesis is absolutely stunning. The track is black and red with blood vessels vibrantly on display as you ride past. So let's talk about the station building. As you walk into this dark, poignant, red lighted station building, you are also surrounded by vessels and tentacles. It's pure genius theming. The ride footprint has an awesome queue line and a fully immersive, contained environment. Within the footprint, you can see a blood river, sci-fi cabin, controlled by humans. There is even a crashed helicopter. The list goes on, but it is fair to say that Nemesis from Resident Evil has been turned into an immersive, tentacled environment. Nemesis wins on the theming content. Say nothing. On to the next topic, and that's train design and manufacturer. I'm not going to get too deep here. Hyperia has a lovely lap restraint. The train shape suits the thrilling airtime-filled ride. The colour design suits the theming. The only thing I find a bit tacky is the Thorpe Park tag across the front of the carriage. I really wish it said Hyperia. Mack rides are normally reliable, but Hyperia has still not come out of teething issues. This will hamper Mack Ride's reputation. Labelled the #1 coaster in the UK, but has continuous bad press about its reliability. That's fuel for fire. Let's hope this improves for the sake of Mack. Back to Nemesis. The train design is quite plain, but then most inverted or SLC type coasters are plain. It has red fixings that resemble blood colour, red restraints, and the rest is pretty much black. I personally find B&M very comfortable, although inverts can be a bit rough. I don't find this one rough. I think there is room for more theming on the train here though. Whether or not it needs it, it's a personal opinion. The train suits the track design, but that overhead restraint does bring down comfortability. I think Mack rides only just win with their train design here. So lastly, what about the ride experience? Who has been on Hyperia? Those who have know it's awesome. But that first outer bank turn as you come out of the station is absolutely pointless. The lift hill is agonizingly slow. It feels like an eternity. But once you hit the top, don't look down, lol. That drop is simply incredible. Plunging and twisting, you could say flying at top speeds. Top speeds. The drop is angel-like, smooth, twisting and turning into the highs and lows. As you approach smoothly at high speeds, the overhead loop where you get hang time. The hang time is long and is an incredible sensation. Then you twist and turn a little bit more and the ride ends. The ride is short, but it's very fulfilling. Being honest, I've dumbed this down a little, but it's very true. The speed makes up for the lack of the length in time, and the smoothness of this ride, it beats the rest. Going back to Nemesis Reborn, what about it? Wow, what strikes me first is the theming. It's filled my heart already. Out the station we go and swiftly up the lift hill. It's not long before you drop and the momentum sets in. The ride has a serious emphasis on momentum. You encounter 4 inversions on this ride, but where it's inverted, it has different sensations to a non-inverted roller coaster. Each inversion feels like a smooth whip. With so much detail and scenery around you, so much passes your eyes in a short amount of time. Its top speed of 50 miles per hour feels faster. You can feel so much momentum brewing up. With a ride time of 1 minute 20 seconds, it's a bit shorter than Hyperia. However, the once proclaimed most intense ride is for sure not as intense as the plunges of Hyperia. I am a really big fan of Nemesis, but again, this ride is too short. Hyperia is longer, smoother, and a bit more intense. I therefore proclaim Hyperia as the winner of Hyperia versus Nemesis.